Hi, everybody. Welcome to the KaitenCast. I am Sushi. This is my first episode. I'm here with Muffu. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Muffu. I sometimes draw a lot, mainly on Twitter, which is going to be under a locked account soon, so you can't see it. Way to go, me. Okay, I'm done.
Yeah. So basically, I don't know how much I talk to you about this. I wanted to do a podcast for a really long time, especially considering on my YouTube, I started getting a lot of feedback from a lot of younger artists, like really young, and there was a
Ooh,
lot of stuff that,
babies.
yeah, babies. There was a lot of stuff I wanted to kind of let them know that I wish I knew, and this was a good way to reach out to people that I liked. And I've been following your stuff for a few months now.
That's so nice.
Yeah, and I liked your energy. Your energy. I liked how much work you put, because you actually you work on art way more consistently than I do.
Compliments will get you everywhere. No, I don't. I try, but oh my gosh, finding time in the day to do art is so hard, and I want to get my projects done. Screw corporate stuff, screw industry stuff. I'm tired of kissing butt because I'm really bad at it. So just gonna make my own stuff, forget about it. But it takes so long. I'm my YouTube channel is practically dead because of it. But I think the finished product should be okay, but we don't know about that.
Yeah, I feel that. I
Um,
mean, that's the same kind of with me though. Is because I've always been a creative person. I always want to do my own projects, but and everyone else that I know who does stuff like this, it takes so much patience. Even just drawing, it's literally just it's 99% patience.
Definitely, because it takes so long. Oh my gosh, so long. I feel you. I feel you.
Do you actually, because you follow me as well? Do you know how I found you? Because it's really random.
I have no idea. I set up. I know how you got in contact with me, but um, I put out a post about voicing other people's OCs, and I thought it'd be fun during the Thanksgiving weekend because I had it kind of sort of off to give back for a week and just have an open Twitter account for a week so I can do that for other people, and it'd be fun. And I was surprised about the responses I got. It was little, but it was tremendously a lot for me. So, and that people wanted me to voice their OCs, and I was ecstatic. I was like, let's do this. So you got in contact with me to voice your shark girl, and she was so adorable. So
Oh, thank
I
you.
had a blast voicing her. You're welcome. She's great. So that's how I found out about your existence, and it's awesome. And I'm glad I'm following you because I love your art. It's so cute and
Oh,
cool.
thank you
So
very much.
yeah,
So
you're
okay,
welcome.
how long was that video up? The video where you said you wanted to voice people's OCs?
It was probably up for about a week.
Oh, okay, that's longer than I thought. So basically, I don't even remember why. I was looking for, or I was looking at. I went down a rabbit hole. I was looking at fan dubs, and I found a
Oh
Haruhi
no.
fan dub. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. Is it through my toaster's retarded stuff?
I think so. So before we started this call, I double checked because I wasn't sure, and I found that I was watching it right before this call, and I was like, I don't remember this being what it was, but it had to have been because I know that it was. I watched a fan dub, and I was like, I like the voice acting, and then I looked up who voiced Mikuru, and then that day, I believe it was the same day, you posted that video, the OC voicing video, and so
Coincidences? I think so.
yeah, and that's when I followed you on Twitter, which it was open at the time, and that's when I was like, "Oh, hey, I have an
Yeah.
OC. Let's reach out to this because I liked this person's anime girl voice, and my character is heavily based off anime girls, and it was so random. I do remember it was Thanksgiving because I went to a Thanksgiving party later that week, ish.
Whoa.
So yeah, that's how I found out about you, and you didn't know that actually.
Dude, no, that's crazy. Because I have been instead of my toaster's retarded stuff, I have done a lot of stuff for him, which he does Haruhi abridged type stuff, and I do a lot of stuff for abridges sometimes, mostly his stuff. But I did beforehand, a couple of years ago, did do a fan dub of Haruhi. It was just a short clip of someone grabbing Mikuru's boo beard, and that's all the line. I was just screaming. That's it. So I don't know if that was the one you saw or if that one's already taken down or not. But that's the like the only other one I remember doing. I think there was maybe one more, and that's eluded me. I don't know. But yeah,
Have you been doing? Because
used to do a lot of fan dubs, but well,
okay, that was my next question. Because like, I always wanted, I've always wanted to be a voice actor. But I'm not very good at it. I haven't exercised my voice very much.
are you kidding?
I mean, I don't think I am. Because with you, because that was the thing that impressed me.
You can voice act.
I guess that's fair because I did theater and drama for like a long time, and I mean I guess there's voice actors like Johnny Young Bosch who just do the same voice, they just focus on acting. But I don't know, I was really impressed with like your range and your excitement and stuff, and that's why originally before I had to put this on hiatus, I was working on a storytime video, and I contacted you asking if you wanted to do some voices for me or some voice work for me because I liked your voice acting, and much like a lot of things, my personal life kind of reached a bunch of roadblocks and I had to put it on hiatus, which is part of the reason I haven't done a lot recently, and also part of the reason I was like, oh, let's try and push that podcast forward because that doesn't require a lot of prep. I could do that as a side project while I fix everything.
Good thing on your part, yeah. Well, you could do a lot with voice acting because it mainly is just acting, honestly. Range, it has something to do with it at the end of everything. Like, that's mainly the last thing people want you to work on is the range. But, like, to make your money's back as a voice actor, they want you to do commercial work. And then you can work your way onto, like, more character type roles and stuff, which it's fantastic. But, again, it's more about who you know in the industry to get in there.
100%, and I already knew that.
It's hard. Yeah, getting a demo reel up is like, double hard because it's like $500 to get like a good, decent one done, and in time. That's why my demo reel hasn't been done. I paid a guy $40 to do it, and I guess we haven't done it since 2016. So it's been a while.
But you do have a demo reel? Like, do you have one out?
No.
Okay.
I first of all, I don't want a demo reel out online. I would love one out online, but at the same time, I wouldn't because then I get a lot of random people saying, "Hey, can you voice in my Sailor Moon dub, LOL, or my Tokyo Mew?" Oh, no, wait, what's the one they always use? Mermaid Melody. They always use Mermaid Melody for like, if you want to be in my stand up, please audition for my Mermaid Melody thing. Like, no. I'm not going to.
Why does so many?
I heard your demo reel. You're really good. Can you voice in my thing for free? No.
Yeah, well, sorry that I kind of did that with you too, but
No. For original content, I'm always down for doing it. Yes, 1,000,000,000%, I will do it. I love original content, even if it's like a random story time animation. I am there. I love original content.
Okay.
But if it's for another fan dub thing, forget about it.
Yeah.
Unless like I feel passionate about the project, there's no way.
Okay. Well, in that case, we should keep in touch for my future stuff. But also, I've noticed, why does everybody make parodies of Mermaid Melody? I've never even watched that anime.
Do they make parodies now of them? Maybe because people, back in my day, they had a bunch of, like, I want to say they're kids or teens, and always on, it was not Casting Call. They always did it on, Behind the Voice Actors or some other... Voice Acting Alliance. They always did it on Voice Acting Alliance, asking people to voice in their thing. But it's been so long that I guess it has become a parody over time that, like, nobody wants to do it. Let's just do a parody so we could just cut all the things we don't like or whatever, which is fine. I mean, they get to be more creative that way. But it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad when a lot of people know that it's a parody type thing now.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I'm out of that world. I do want to get more professional voice acting roles, but it's kind of hard without a car. I know a lot of things can be done at home, but when you don't have a really good setup like I do, I mean, you can't really tell, but like, I don't have a good enough setup, I think, and that makes me feel like I'm not doing a good enough job.
Yeah.
And you can hear echo, and it's sound quality, people who know about that stuff, like sound engineers, they know. So it's like, they're gonna find out I'm a fraud. The mic's like $200-$300, so
I kind of feel the same way about like my setup, both for recording audio and art. Especially at the moment, half of my stuff isn't even like working right now.
You know what? I just was talking with a friend yesterday, and he was and he's like practically a professional like animator, and he's like, yeah, my computer sucks and it's been dying. I'm like, and you had it for how long? He's like, just 2 years. I'm like, 2 years, 2 years. That's still kind of recent, but like I know I've had problems with like my older laptops too, but I think a lot of good work can be done with like old software, old stuff as well. It's just how you use things, I think, and you can do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can get through it.
Do you focus more on voice acting or art?
I want to focus more on art. That's been my number one passion. I do mix back in like 2009 through 2012.
Real quick, can you repeat that? You cut out.
Somehow found out I was good at voice acting. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I used to do a lot of web comics back in 2009 to 2012. And then I found out I was kind of good at voice acting, so I decided to pursue it a little bit more. But after, oh man, there was so much drama back then. I kind of stopped. I was like, no, I can't handle all this drama. So I just left. And like, if I'm doing anything, it's probably going to be for friends or people I know I can trust doing voice acting, or I have to know I like their project. So right now I'm focusing more on animation because that's my first and foremost like passion. But I felt so down about it, like so down about it. Because I was like, oh, I'm never gonna get picked up by anybody. Nobody wants to see my crummy art. And the main thing that was concerning me is like consistency through animation. Like, oh, my drawings are not gonna look consistent to other people's styles, so why even bother? That was my major setback. But then I went to the animation guilds starting in February, and I started getting like taught better by professionals, and I'm like, that's what I'm doing wrong. So I'm getting head first like all up in this. So now I'm like all about animation and trying to figure out how I can do my things, and I want to get better at mimicking other people's style. It's just a little bit for animation, but that's going to be a while. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to focus on storyboards because I could be as loose as I can with that.
So are you trying to mimic other people's styles just because that it'll help you understand how to animate?
That too, yeah. Like I know I animate for a friend for revenge, but yeah, just figure out like what shape goes there or there. It's mostly about like finding what shape one thing morphs into, and being on model as well. You know,
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard because I know a lot of companies use rigs too.
Yes.
So it's like, well, what's the point of traditional animation? Like, well, sometimes you do need that touch.
Yeah, I actually personally really dislike rigging. So
I hate rigging. Oh
yeah,
my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell me.
Okay, so a little bit about my previous stuff, because I've been doing this for like a long time, and this is part of the conversation that I was thinking about getting with you, is because I've been making stuff on the internet for like a long time. I'm currently now older than like 80% of Twitch, and
Are you serious? They're all like babies on there still now?
yeah. So for people who know me, I just turned 26, and most 80% of Twitch is younger than 25. But so yeah.
Oh my god.
It's so weird because I'm not even 30, and it makes me feel elderly because the field that I'm interested in is inhabited by like 19-year-olds, and I look up to like a lot of like kids. That's beside the point. My point is, my number one dream ever since I was tiny, I always wanted to be an animator. I used to want to work for Disney. When I was really little, I said I wanted to be the next Walt Disney. Everyone who knew me as a kid heard me say that. And something that I actually kind of wish I focused more on was learning to animate and following through with animation, because there was a point in time, 2013, I think, I was trying to make a cartoon with two of my friends, technically. One was a writer, and the other was a writer and also an artist. And do you know what Toon Boom is? It's like what like modern day Family Guy uses.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, F that noise. I don't
Yeah.
I mean, okay, no, it's still okay, but that's the program I got, and basically with that project, we bit off more than we could chew because very initially I wanted to make like a web cartoon, but then my friend whose dad like was in the actual like production business with music, he kind of motivated us to like try and make a full finished project to kind of send to networks. So it was like three 20-year-old guys trying to make like a full TV quality show, and obviously that didn't work. But the main thing with that was I was learning how to animate, and it was taking me a long time. I was following all these tutorials. It took me a full day just to make like a 3-second like video of like Bigfoot scratching himself, and yeah, that was like one of my first tests. And then the computer I was using, like, I still don't know what happened to it. I think because it wasn't very powerful. I think I was overworking it, and it like imploded. And so I got a laptop.
Killed the computer with art.
Yeah, I was working too much, and I killed the computer. And since then,
Oh no.
I was using like a really, really bad laptop because I couldn't afford anything better. So for 5 years, I was drawing with a mouse on a laptop that kept crashing, and I was trying to like edit videos on like a really, really like crummy laptop. And that was a really bad time. I'm so happy I have a new desktop now. But yeah, the thing about Toon Boom is the way it works. Have you used it?
I used it twice, and I like it for what it is. But again, I haven't drawn with it. I just colored in things.
I see. But yeah, I did some drawings, some just drawings as pieces on it, and that was fine. I hated the process of like, okay, draw this character's hand at every single angle, and then draw their arm at every single angle, and then do the skeleton so we could rig it. And I didn't like that. I felt like it was more like puppeteering than animating.
Yeah, it's all about puppeteering. Oh god, the thing you were saying about your laptop, I feel you, man, because this gives me war flashbacks. I once had a laptop that like it kept system rebooting, and then I was like, it said back up your files. I'm like, okay, back up my files, system reset. I lost a year's worth of work, so I totally feel you.
Are you, dude?
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a long time worth. You never got it back?
I never got it back. I rage quit for like a year. I was like, I can't handle puppeteering. I can't rig it nothing no more. I hate this. So yeah, I haven't used Toon Boom for puppeteering, for rigging yet, but it looks a lot simpler than what I was using. I was using Crazy Talk Animator. I still use it time to time, but I hate it.
I've never heard of that.
It's basically just puppeting. It's basically let me see.
Is it a free software? Is that why you don't like it?
No, I paid $149 for it. I know it's it's like a $300 worth though. They just updated it to for like 2019. That's the year we are at. And it looks a lot better. They call it Crazy Animator now, which is great, and it looks much better. You can do like tweens on there now, and I think it could almost rival Toon Boom, but Toon Boom you could still do like a million times a lot more things. But yeah, it's just puppeteering. They said like you could work on the puppet in Photoshop or your art program of choice, and then translate it to you could import it into Crazy Talk Animator because it's supposed to be by sections or whatever, and they make it look so easy on their like tutorials. I'm like, oh, this is great, this is fantastic. And then when you import it, the head just starts floating off into space. I'm like, bye. I didn't feel like rigging today anyways. I kind of gave up, but I do want to use it for like, I think there's a lot of potential in it for like YouTube videos, because it's your own assets you're putting into there. They have like already assets you can like pull from, but that's like other people's drawings, and I'm like, I'm not about that. Goodbye.
Yeah.
But I just like the lip syncing thing personally. Just anything lip synced for me, okay.
So wait, so can you is the idea that you like make the drawing in Photoshop, and then when you import it into that thing, you then do the in-betweens using that program?
Basically you can. It's like it's just now you could do the in betweens, but in their older software in Crazy Talk 3, which I have, you can't do in betweens. Like, say you want a head to turn, you have to make a completely new drawing for the head to turn. I'm like, oh, cool. I hate that. I'm like, sometimes my characters are from the back. Do I have to make a back sprite for that? Yes, I do. Okay. So it was more hassle than it's worth. So I'll probably look into just the one I have right now, but there's no way I'm investing more into that software. I'd rather get Toon Boom because it's industry standard. So if I get hired and I know somewhat of how things to go about, then I'm okay with that.
Yeah. See, because the thing with that is the only reason I would ever use that program is if it did what I was thinking, if it was for in betweening. But also, if that's the case, you might as well just use Toon Boom from the beginning. And I hear a lot of.
I wish I would have known.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I mean, depending on when you started using it, the two programs might not have been what they are now. It's hard to have that kind of foresight. I wonder, because I've heard a lot of people actually talk Toon Boom up like it's supposed to be like the good animation program.
It looks so good on Twitter when you see professional animators like, look at this, you could do this and this, but in Flash you can't, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying too now, because my friend that I was just talking about earlier about his computer sucking, I asked him like, how is Toon Boom for you? Because he finally started using it. And he's like, it sucks. I hate it. I'm like, what? But Twitter says it's fine. So I don't know. Yeah. I'm starting to side with you now.
It's interesting because I feel like all current professional projects that are done that start out independent always use Toon Boom. I don't really see much professional projects or projects that become professional use Flash anymore.
Well, yeah, I haven't heard anybody use Flash anymore outside of like YouTubers using it.
That's so interesting.
Or Canada.
Yeah, or Canada. Because I always wanted Flash and I never got it. That's interesting. Maybe I should, because the reason I don't have Toon Boom now with my new PC, one is I just built the PC, so I don't have everything up and running, and two, I don't even remember what my Toon Boom account was to retrieve my purchase.
Oh no, like can't you look it up through your email or something? Don't they like send you something like this is it through the email? Don't delete this email because it has all your stuff on it.
Yeah, funny story. I don't know what email I used. Unlike now where everything is universal.
Oh no!
Yeah, I had like 20. The thing is because if I can retrieve it, I'll get it back, but I don't know if it'll like give me like the newest version of Toon Boom or if I'm stuck using like the version I bought back then.
Well, I mean, I think it'd be worthwhile for you to just like send them like some tech support, be like, hey, I bought Toon Boom a while ago. Here's all my information. Hopefully you have it in your records because I don't have it in mine because organization. Am I right? So, but.
Yeah, I haven't even thought about that. I probably should do that because I feel like having any animation program is better than not having any, which is my current state.
Oh no, yeah, it's definitely worthwhile, especially since it's like so much money. Like that's something I want to save up for. I want to get it through the Animation Guild if I can, but that's like it's like $50 for only 1 year though. 1 year. I want the whole thing so I could take it with me forever.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about it. Like it's not like Adobe where it's like under a paywall all the time. I hate that. I hate that. Anything to like not do that is good. I will pay for that.
The other thing, you brought it up.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I probably will now. I honestly haven't really thought much about it until like right now. Have you ever? Because you brought it up earlier. Oh shoot, hang on.
No problem.
Let me close all my things that are making noise. Okay, so have you ever tried lip syncing an animation just like organically?
Not yet. I'm dreading it, but I know I have to if I want to like go full on animating. I have a sequence kind of done, but not with the lip flaps. I'm just like timing is a-okay, but lip flaps I'm not even going to do that yet. I think I want to do that like at the very, very end.
Yeah, I've never done it either, and I'm like honestly really hesitant to learn. It's really intimidating.
Have you ever not lip sync, but have you ever did a bridging? Because I think that's a really good learning curve to go through that, and then you could apply it to probably animating. Because I found, well, I haven't done it yet, but like with puppeteering, not, and with rigging, they have to do like different lip flaps, right? So I do like you just draw out all the mouths,
Mm-hmm.
and so you just like plug it in, right? So and that's like the same with the bridging, like you just plug it in, but you have to hear where the lines meet up to where that lip flap is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I find probably with like the lips already drawn out or whatever, you could probably find or how to draw out that sound for when that character moves. I'm hoping that's how it's gonna be. I'm probably sure it is, but yeah, I haven't done it yet, so I can't say for sure, but I'm assuming it's like that.
Yeah, 'cause what I have done on Toon Boom, they had it sounds like the same thing that you did, where you draw like the 11 shapes that a mouth makes, or however many, and it like auto generates based off of the audio file. The issue with that is it wasn't perfect, and if it was at least one frame off, it was like super noticeable that it couldn't tell the sound the mouth was making.
Yeah,
And
it's
it
going there manually.
Yeah, and it could only, if you draw all the mouths that many times, you have to draw it, at least with the art style I was using at the time, you have to do it differently for each character, depending on how they're drawn, and it's only ever at like the one angle. So like the mouth is always drawn at like the one angle, so it's hard to draw anything dynamic.
Yeah, that's the worst. So yeah, I think that's where traditional animation is like the best, but it's also really hard. Yeah, because you have to really when those actors speak, you really have to know when their timing is, especially if the boards are a little bit different than what the actors are saying. But yeah, like it's super noticeable where the rigging with the characters speaking, and it's not aligning right. You have to go in there manually and just off by a millisecond and squeeze it in there, and it sucks. It really sucks, and it's tedious. And a lot of people are like, oh no, it's not that tedious. Like, have you ever tried it? Then don't say that.
I know, dude. Dude, art and animation is like that's all. It's all tedious. It's all time consuming. Why is this a life we chose?
I like pain. It makes me feel like I'm alive.
Have you? Okay, so you've been doing this for a while as well, right?
Animating?
Just
sort of.
Just making content in general, because you had a webcomic.
Oh yeah. Like as soon as like the internet was available to me, I was like, I can put my art on DeviantArt. Let me go ahead and put off these horrible high school drawings.
Yeah, dude.
They're like a masterpiece.
Yeah, dude, me too. That's 100% what I did.
I had this one drawing. I want to put it on a t-shirt. It's really momentous. Okay. So I saw on DeviantArt that I had 300 views on my page,
Mhm.
and he was like, 300 views? That's a lot of eyeballs. So I drew up something really quick, and I was like, thanks for 300 views. I want to put it on a t-shirt because it's so bad. It's so great.
Dude, that's awesome. I can't, because
Yeah.
I posted so much when I was like in high school, and I hate looking back, because I was really bad at drawing back then. I never taken any art classes. I know. Well, no, dude. Sometimes I mean, kids these days have the internet, so like I find artists.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
They're crazy. They're witchcraft.
I find artists that I look up to, and then I find out that they're like 8 years younger than me, and I'm like, what the heck, dude? How did you even learn how to do this? Because I signed up for art for like an art class in school like every single year. And I never got in until my senior year of high school because the classes would always fill up. So I actually never took an art class.
That's terrible.
I know,
Oh,
and
goodness.
so and that was like my number one like hobby and what's the word, ambition, was to pursue myself as an artist. And so I was
Glad you kept going.
yeah, I mean, it didn't stop me, but looking back, it's really obvious that I never learned the fundamentals of how to draw something, because it was literally like I just kind of learned by like looking at anime, but like I didn't use guidelines for a long time, so like everything was like crooked. There's a drawing. I'm super embarrassed about this. I'm proud when I upload the backlog of this, I'm gonna put in a picture of this. There's a picture I drew like a long time ago when I first started using DeviantArt, where I drew my family in the Lucky Star style. Do you know that anime?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, the really cutesy one. And it's really bad. And my mom found it recently, and it's on my parents' fridge, and I want to burn it. I hate looking at it.
No, that's great though. that shows how far you've come. Come on.
That's true. Okay, so I also had. Oh, go on.
I just love old art. It's the best thing ever. But I love so bad it's good stuff. Okay, go on.
Yeah, one of my upcoming videos is gonna be because I found basically recently when I talked about the roadblocks in my life, I recently had to move back in with my parents, so that's currently where I am now, and because of that, I found a lot of my old stuff, and I found like the old sketchbook that I used to bring to school every day. And I was looking through it and I was like, "Ooh, this is rough." And that's going to be one of my next videos is just going through it. Just because of how funny I think it is.
Yeah, it gets so funny sometimes. Yes, embrace it. It's so great.
Yeah, and let me tell you, if you put that like thanks for the 300 views thing on a shirt, I'll buy it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'll do it.
It's just like two of my OCs. Thanks for 300 views.
Yeah, no, dude.
Yes, I need to find it. I need to scan it.
I remember thinking that, like, because I was like, whoa, we have the internet available now, and then I put my bad drawings on DeviantArt that I thought were good, and then I'd be like, oh my god, 10 people favorited this. That's an impossible amount of people.
Okay, so DeviantArt now from DeviantArt back then, it was so different because random people, because there was less people online apparently, like, random people would favorite like 14 times or whatever, but like, when you put something up on DeviantArt right now, it's like just one view, not even a like.
I don't know,
it's so weird.
Because I'm assuming DeviantArt now has a different type of algorithm. I'm assuming it's however YouTube works or similar, because
yeah, maybe
back then I made so many friends on DeviantArt, and I felt like it was so easy for people to find my stuff. But also, I think there was significantly less people using it at the time.
Yeah, because like, you could find things so fast, like when they because they have that page where like, oh, here's what barely was uploaded or whatever, and like it would shuffle through every so often, but now it's like a new page every refresh, so
yeah,
it's so weird.
There's still the newest tab on the front page, but you have to actively know where that is to click on it, because back in the day people found me on the front page like right after I uploaded, because they would put what was on the newly uploaded on the front page.
Yeah, that's what I did, and I found a lot of cool like artists that way, and like the featured page, like it didn't seem like it was rigged at the time, so I was like, whoa, featured, wow, these people are so cool. But now it's just I don't even know where the featured thing is on there. I don't use DeviantArt as much, and I'm scared to.
Yeah, I mean, I almost don't use it at all. I don't, because I keep trying to like put my stuff on it just to kind of document it, and I just keep forgetting it exists, because since there's no since people aren't really seeing my stuff, well, I shouldn't word it like that, but basically, since there's no activity, like I don't have my old internet friends active on it anymore. I always it's no worries. It's just I always forget the website exists, because there's nothing bringing me back to it to remind me that I have to like, or that I would post my art on it.
Yeah, it's kind of dead. Like there's no reason for me to come back to it other than archiving things and like you said. But I think Instagram might be a little bit better about that, and I think a lot of people use Instagram a lot more.
I think that's the other thing too, is now that I have Instagram, DeviantArt seems 100% pointless to me.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, I mean, even Twitter, like I don't have because for Instagram, I separated my art and my personal life, and for Twitter, for me, it's just everything, and even then, archiving my art is better that way, in my opinion.
I think so too, because they have like the whole media section on there now, and your like private settings, you can see what art you have posted, or pictures or whatever, and I'm like, dude, this is all the stuff back from like last year. This is great. I could find everything, because otherwise I'd have to scroll through a whole year's worth. And I find it like way better. I know my friend uses the moment system or whatever on Twitter, and I have no idea how to work that, but he has like his whole portfolio on there. I'm like, okay, that's crazy, but really cool to look through his stuff.
Has the the what?
The moment system, like you can like favorite tweets into your moments. I don't know how it works exactly.
Oh, I don't know.
I tried to use it once, and it was like it doesn't exist anymore. I'm like, what? So I don't know if that's part of old Twitter or not or whatever.
No, but it's I don't know how it works, but an artist that I really like, who I'm gonna have on this podcast later, but an artist that I like mentioned it like yesterday, so it's still a thing. that she's still updating her moment, but I have no idea what it even is or how to use it.
I don't know. I use it to look up references for my friends' OC so I could like draw them.
Mhm.
But it looks really cool. But I have so much art. I feel overwhelmed trying to organize it through that.
Yeah. I have a question, and I'm actually pretty curious about your response to this. And I want to the best of my ability, avoid being like a downer, but this is a big element of why I wanted to talk to artists on this show, quote unquote. So through all your time making content on the internet and working on art, did you ever, well, first things first, like what were some of your main struggles with that, if any? I'm assuming at least some.
I guess not enough eyeballs, and when I did get eyeballs, I would freak out of like so many messages saying, "Oh, this is cool," and like trying to comment back like, "Thank you," and it's just the overall of "thank you." It's just kind of like I don't know what to say anymore. I'm not gonna say anything more. No comment. So just no comment. So just interacting with people. I didn't know how to do that.
Did you get overwhelmed?
Struggling why? I got a little overwhelmed. And I guess that hurt me in the long run of trying to like communicate with people to engage people into the content. But at the time, still, I didn't know how to engage people into that content. Like, this is my story, and this is how this character is, and that character is.
Yeah.
Now that I'm older and I have a better understanding of my characters as well, and how the internet works, it's a lot better now than it was back then. But the past was certainly different than it is now as well. So it was a lot of struggling. But the audience I do have, I'm really grateful that they stuck around back then and people noticed me back then. So it was a little down. It was kind of like, oh no, I'm being critiqued. But it's good to be critiqued.
It is, and it's really good to kind of exercise how to use criticism in a way that is productive.
Yes, like creative critiquing is like so good. Like always take it. Like sure, grain of salt, whatever. That character should look like that, but like always like don't put it past you. Be like, well, what if I did do that? And always test things out too. Like
yes,
it's your character. Draw them all the ways, different ways. Give them an afro, whatever, you know. Like, yeah.
Did your artistic endeavors or the content that you make, did it at all affect like your personal life?
Do I even have a personal life?
That's a fair question. I don't think I currently do.
In relations to my family, they were always supportive, but they didn't have enough money to support me, so it was always on myself, trying to support myself and getting myself into trouble. So now I'm in debt, so that's cool. Dropout as well.
Oh, dude, I mean, same as well.
Yeah, so being in animation, I guess really has affected me personally, actually. So now I'm in debt for 19 years now. We're gonna wait until like some clears off student debt, hopefully. Oh my god, please, for the love of God. Yeah, on a friend note, like, yeah, I feel like working on animating or even comic or any kind of art in that I like to do, it has driven a lot of people away because I'm always working and like, why can't you hang out or whatever? And I'm like, can't you see I'm hanging out with my characters? They're like my babies. I need to get them out in the world so people can see them so we can hang out. But they're like, no, you suck. I'm like, thanks, bye.
That's really that's really interesting because I'll get to my experience in a second but it's almost the opposite of what happened to me.
Just a lot of people, like, I know this one girl, she wants to make her cartoon, and she's like one of my customers, and I work as a cashier, and she's like, I love cartoons. Like, what a coincidence, I do too. But she doesn't post as much. She's like, I just don't have a good tablet and whatever, and I'm like, just draw traditionally. But you know, people have their own ways, you know.
Dude, I'm so impressed you have a Cintiq. That's like one of my life goals is to own one.
It was hard. It was between okay, so Toys R Us went out of business, right? And I used to work there, and I was like, oh, no severance pay. I see how it is. Okay.
Oh, hey.
And they they gave me $300, I guess, for severance pay. They're like, hey, we have this money in our backlog, and it says it's yours. This is very time sensitive. Can you go ahead and get it? I'm like, yes. So that combined with my income tax, and my income tax was supposed to be for a car, and I was like, well, let's just split it down the deal where it's like half for the car, half for the Cintiq. And so I got the Cintiq, and I'm like, this is great. Now I have only so much for the car, but I could still save up. Anime Expo happened, and I regret everything. But at the same time, I don't. So, yes.
Okay, here's a question. I keep going on so many tangents, but this I have to know. Were you working at Toys R Us when they went out of business?
I was, yes. I was one of their seasonal people because I used to work next door to them. And they've known me for years, the managers. And finally I was like, what if I apply? And they're like, yes, ready? Okay, let's do it. So it's like, okay. So I applied there for being a stock worker, and I hated it because I was tired all the time. And they were like, well, what if you're a cashier? Because they really wanted to hang on to me. I was like, okay. So I was a cashier, whatever. And then the next year happened, and I was a cashier. And that was the year they were going to announce for your bankruptcy. And then they finally announced they were going into bankruptcy. And then they gave me a call, and they're like, hey, come back in because we're going to bankruptcy and we need people, and you're people. So I was like, okay. So I worked there from March to June, one of their last days, and it was really cool. Really sad though, but really cool.
So that money you got that you put towards the Cintiq, was that because they went out of business?
I want to say so. They said if you worked between this time to this time, then the money is yours. So they were just holding it back apparently or something. So I was like, okay. I don't know where that came from, but I'm not mad about it. So if I could get free money, I'm okay.
I wonder if that was a universal thing with the company, because I also worked for Toys R Us when they were going out of business.
What?
Yes.
Well, okay. So, this is totally not our thing, but like, yeah, my letter said if it worked from like December, or it's like either November or December of 2018 to like June of whenever they closed of 2018. You know what I mean? Time. If you worked between like December through where they closed, then that money is yours.
Okay, because the thing is, I don't think I would have gotten it anyways, because what happened was I was working at Toys R Us, and I kept hearing talks about them going out of business, and I quit completely unrelated. I quit months before it happened, but only like a few months.
No.
And now I'm wondering,
was it during December or Christmas?
It was a little bit before that.
Ah.
And I'm wondering if I stayed, if I would have gotten some bonus cash.
Probably if you would have stayed until at least December.
Dang,
how long have
dude.
you worked there though?
How long I had worked there for a year, I think.
Year? Then you should have got some kind of money. I don't know. Maybe they were just like, oh, the people who stayed until the very end, I guess they get staying on with the ship money, I guess. I don't. That doesn't make any sense.
It might not have been universal, but yeah, no, dude, when you were telling me that, I was like, what the heck? Why didn't I get that? Because I was like, this whole time you're telling the story, I'm like, she doesn't know that I also worked there at the same time.
Oh no, that's so horrible. No, I wish you would have got the money. Oh no, because the letter they sent me, it was like time sensitive too. Like if you don't do it within this amount of time, then you don't get any money. And I was like, oh, I only have a month to do this. Let's cash it, please.
Dang, dude, that's so random that we both worked at Toys R Us when they were going out of business.
Yeah. Which, do you live in California?
No, I live in Seattle.
Ah. Okay then. Well, same time difference then. Then okay. I'm like, if we worked in California, there's only so few in California. Oh man, I wonder which one he worked in. But
dude, if I lived in California and we worked together and we didn't know, that would be the craziest thing.
Dude, you would have known that I sucked at using their walkie-talkies. Like, hey, backroom, do you have number blah 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 and say it all wrong? They're like, what? In front of the customer, like, oh gee.
Dude, I hated the walkie-talkie system only because everyone always ignored everybody, and I'm like, this is counterintuitive.
Oh man, are you serious?
Yeah, I'd be like, hey.
Those are pretty big.
Yeah, they're huge. And I'd always be like, hey, somebody go back to the bikes. I am sending a customer back there. And then the customer would come back to the front like 3 times. And then they would just, at the last.
Kidding?
Yeah, and like the last time, they'd be like, okay, well, no one showed up, so I just helped myself. And I was like, dude, I keep calling back. I did it multiple times, and people would respond to me, and that always happened. Where like, or somebody would be like, "Oh, I want to buy this huge Lego set that's behind the glass," and I'm like, "Okay," and then I would call for confirmation like 4 times, and then like an hour later, the person's been waiting. They're like, "Oh yeah, we didn't even check yet," and then I was like, "Are you? Why? Why is this how it's?" Yeah, actually, so.
What is your backroom doing?
Well, see, that was actually
Dude, I would have.
You would have what?
Ooh, that makes it. I would have walked back into the back room like, "Hey, I'm just gonna find it myself, thanks."
I would have done
no.
that if I wasn't a cashier and if the building wasn't so big, because like,
Oh no, yeah.
because I'm like, God, I'm a cashier and I have a line and that's like all the way over there, but like, part of the reason I quit was because I felt like it was managed so poorly. I felt like people just ignored each other, and like it was really, there was cliques, like it kind of felt like junior high. It was really weird.
Oh no.
Yeah, so
That's horrible,
I
dude.
know I could talk badly about it now because that building's closed. But
Well, I'm sorry you had a bad experience. I somewhat had it. Well, only customers give me bad experiences, honestly. But like, as long as I don't talk to anybody, like, then no bad experience exists. But I feel you, man. That's horrible.
Were you only
Horrible.
back room for a little bit and then cashier, and those are the two positions?
I was a stalker for a month, and I hated their thing where they label things, because when they get the things in from like the back room or whatever, there's sometimes a little label that says, "Oh, this is $99," but and the computer says it's $300 or $400, and the customer sees the 99 price, and when they bring it back, like, "Hey, this is 99. Can I have it for the 99?" Like, no, that you get it for the computer price. And so, but,
why
like,
did that happen
weird.
so
They didn't
frequent?
I do not know. You would think they would get it from like the warehouse to like, get it through their brains. Like, maybe this really huge item is not worth just a penny or whatever. But my Toys R Us did not give a care, man. I had an item that rung up for like 1 penny, but it was like one of the Razor scooters. And
What?
I was like, "Hey, this is ringing up for like a penny," and they're like, "Yeah, just give it to them. It's the last one." I'm like, "So, okay." It's a penny. I'm not gonna complain. But like during the liquidation thing, we had so many people complain and stuff. I'm like, just shut up. You're getting a good deal. My last day working there, I got yelled at. I'm like, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, I
We
was.
almost got in a fight with.
Yeah, oh my god, yeah, that's just retail. I was cashier like a good majority of my time there. That's what I applied for. And then I wanted to transition to back room, actually. I told them that that's what I wanted to do. And they basically convinced me to do the customer service desk instead because they were so understaffed and they were desperate for like
No.
more people. And the thing about that,
That's the worst. You're a guy. You should have been on stock crew. Oh no.
the thing that really sucked about this was
Maybe.
they told me that the only thing I needed to know how to do was to do returns, and so I was like, okay, that's easy. So then I learned that, and that was that. I was not properly trained because I didn't know how to do anything. They didn't even train me on how to use the phone at the desk, so I didn't know how to like put it on hold or like put it or like do or like go to the next line because the phone was so old that all of the writing on the surface was like faded away. And so I was like, guys, I don't know where the hold button is or the line 2 button or anything. I only know how to pick it up. And also, I don't know how to find any of the information anybody's asking for. And then, like, apparently you're supposed to do things for kids' birthdays if they come up, if you're at the customer service desk. And I wasn't told about that. And it was like, after my first day, where, like, it was just, like, me not knowing what I was doing for a whole shift. All my coworkers were like, "You need to know more than just returns. Why did they tell you that?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't know how to do anything. They didn't properly train me." And
That's horrendous. Oh no.
part of me wonders if when they knew they were gonna go out of business, they stopped trying because it kind of feels that way.
A lot of the computers at mine, they didn't update like at all during Christmas. And they're like, "Oh, that register's not working. Okay, go to the next one. Oh, that till is broken. That's okay. Just work around it." But yeah, you could tell the rare on some of these items or whatever. They didn't like do maintenance on things.
Oh yeah, dude.
So.
There was one register that couldn't do gift receipts, and everybody would always forget about it up until the point where somebody would ask for one, and then everyone would just be like, "Oh crap."
I can't live without that because people are always like, "Can I have a gift receipt?" Oh man, but it was so relieving when we didn't have to do gift receipts for when they were closing because all sales were final. Like they couldn't bring it back. So can I have a gift receipt? Like no.
Oh, that's
sorry.
actually everything was just really easy, just in and out. Dude, I I like how we just started talking about Toys R Us for like 20 minutes.
Because it was so bad. I
Yeah.
totally get you. Oh man.
And it's
someone that gets me.
It's super random that we both worked there. Like I did not know that at all. I just knew you were an artist who had been doing things too. And I wonder if I'm gonna like title this episode like Toys R Us stories or something.
Oh, the horror animation toys. Oh, dude, we could make like an animated like story whatever channel or whatever horrors.
Oh yeah,
Sega or something.
Where we just talk about working at Toys R Us.
The Toys R Us saga.
Wait, how long did you work there though?
I worked there seasonal for 1 year, and then seasonal again for the next year, and then that same, or I guess the oncoming year, I worked there for closing. So I guess 2 years, if you want to be technical. But like, I think I worked there as a full year.
Okay.
Like December, yeah, just about like a year's worth of work, but it felt like 2 years.
I'm gonna bring it back to art.
Yeah, let's do it. I literally like the conversation, and like I can hear you perfectly fine now, but every time you start off on the conversation, it like breaks up, and it's frustrating.
That's okay. I think unfortunately I will have to save that for I can tell you off stream about all this, but I think I'll probably just have to save it for my next guest on the next episode, only because of what's happening right now.
No worries. I mean, I'd love to listen to it with the next guest too.
Other than that, I think I'm going to call it time with this one.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Yeah, of course. Like, thanks for like saying that you would be on this. Like, I'm really happy because, like I said, I really do like all your work.
Oh my gosh, still cool the compliments. Yeah, I still love your work too. Like, dude, I'll retweet everything you do. Yes.
All right. Well, yes, like I said, thank you very much for joining me and being on what was not planned to be the first episode, but what is now my first episode of the KaitenCast. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Bye.